obsessed with it, and some of you guys might have already seen it. I've posted pictures and stuff on my other social media. And yeah, I just want to show you guys my tattoo, talk about my experience, the pain, the pricing, the travel. And yeah, I just thought it would be a cool little story time, tattoo tour type video. So yeah, this is my new tattoo, and I absolutely love it. I think this is my favorite piece of my sleeve. It's just so beautiful, and my artist did such a good job. I'm obsessed with it. And I know people are curious about the meaning, so I will just get that out of the way right now. So if you've watched my other tattoo videos, my first tattoo was my lion piece, which I know that's like basic, and you know, it's pretty common to get a lion tattoo. And my roses on the other side of my forearm were my second piece. And basically the whole sleeve represents me and loving myself, and basically just accepting and loving who I am as a person. So the owl on top on my shoulder, it represents that I'm a night person. I feel like I've always had my best ideas at night, and I'm very like self-reflective at night. And I guess kind of my inspiration was when I was struggling with my sexuality and coming out of the closet. I would always work late, and I would come home, and I would either drive around and just listen to like sad music until like 2 in the morning, or I would like park my car and just like cry because I was really in denial of being gay, and I was going through a hard breakup, and I just felt like I had so many like emotional and moments of growth, I guess, at night. And it was really like the time of day that I learned to love myself, accept myself, realize who I really am. And you know, I went through a lot of tough times, and you know, these memories take me back to a very specific time in my life. And you know, I think it was a turning point for me, and yeah, I'll never forget those nights just driving around in my crappy little car at midnight just being sad. But you know, I learned so much about myself. And anyways, so there's that. And I'm still a night person. I stay up most nights super late just playing video games, and my boyfriend gets mad at me because he wants me to come to sleep with him and stuff. But yeah, I'll always be a night person. And next is the girl. People have asked if it is anyone in particular, and it's not. I just told my artist what I wanted, and that's what he came up with. That is the face he chose, and I think it's beautiful. She looks kind of like sassy and like, I don't know, she just looks kind of badass. I love it. Oh my god, she's so pretty. And I was hesitant to get a portrait because I'm like, who knows what this will look like over the years. But you know, I think the more that I think about, you know, tattoos and aging and whatever, I think over time you just don't care. You know, when you're older, people always say that'll look so terrible when you're older, but you know, so will the rest of me, and my tattoos will be a part of my story, and I think that that's important. And also, you never know. I could die young. I could die today, later today. Like, you never know. Life is short, and it's just a tattoo I've wanted for since the very beginning. Was a portrait, like an awesome portrait. So, anyways, the girl basically represents my feminine side and my feminine energy, and just learning to embrace that. It's something, it's the side of me I pushed away for so long, and a side of me that I really hated. Oh God, I'm not gonna get emotional. And like, okay, here's a little story. So when I was like in elementary school, I remember this is my one of my gay moments. I remember I liked to play kickball and stuff, and Foursquare, and that was the only real like sporty things I liked. But my favorite thing to do was like double touch jump rope, okay? And I would double touch jump rope with all the girls at school because it was fun. And I was like, okay, that's obviously a red flag that I'm gay as hell. Just kidding, but yeah, I loved it. And my brother went to the same school as me, and I remember he saw me doing that. I was like double touch jump roping with the girls, and we went home, and he told my dad, and I remember my dad came up to me, and he basically told me that I wasn't allowed to jump rope anymore, that it was really gay and feminine, and like, guys don't do that stuff, and whatever. And I think that was like one of my first memories of like being told that it's not okay to have a feminine side or like feminine energy. And I remember there was another time, like, my sister had this like Hannah Montana wig, and we went into our backyard and she filmed a video of me like dancing around like in this wig, okay? And my dad saw it. It was on my dad's camera. It was like an old digital camera, and he saw it and he got really upset with me and had like a talk with me. And you know, I think it's memories like those that really taught me to push away who I really was, push away my feminine side. But it's just who I am, and I think it's just part of me that I want to love and embrace and be okay with, and not feel shame for anymore, because I felt shame for it for so long. So anyways, that's what the girl stands for. Some of you guys might know what the lion and the roses are, which, I'm gonna be honest, like when I wanted tattoos, I knew I wanted a sleeve. My first tattoo was a lion, and I wanted it simply because it was beautiful. I loved the lion and rose look, and I kind of went off that. It wasn't like I got it for anything specific, but later, I was talking to a YouTube friend of mine, and we were talking about like, what could it mean, because I wanted it to have meaning, and he came up with something that really just made sense. The roses represent that I love myself, and I was like, oh my god, or like a reminder to love myself, because something I've always dealt with was self-hate, especially growing up in a very religious family and being gay. It was super hard for me to love myself. I hated myself. And around the same time that I was learning to accept myself and be who I was pretty depressed, anxious, and suicidal. Yeah, it was a bad time. But again, I grew from it, and so, you know, I read self-help books, and I think those have helped me a lot to love myself and, you know, change my point of view on myself. this. I thought it was okay to hate myself for a long time, and I would kind of make a joke out of it, but I've improved a lot since then, so even back in my early YouTube days, I talked about hating myself all the time. And I think I've just grown a lot, so the roses are like a reminder to love myself. The lion basically represents that I had to be brave to be myself, to come out of the closet, leave a toxic religion, and potentially lose friends and family in the process. So it was really hard. But I really think that all these things kind of go back to this time in my life that I had like a turning point that have led me to live a happier life and be free and just break free from all my like emotional trauma or like turmoil or whatever. So anyways, that's basically what my tattoo means. And again, it was an ASMR friend who helped me come up with the meaning of the lion and the rose, and it just made so much sense, and I'm like, oh my god, that is so perfect. So yeah, I still have my inside of my arm to do. There's still like, spaces that aren't done, and I'm excited to get it completely finished. I know from the outside it looks completely done, but it's not. And yeah, I think on the inside I want like a scary like shark or something. Oh, let me show you. I have like a full Pinterest board of tattoos and stuff, but I think that would, make sense, because sharks are like one of my worst fears. It's like an irrational fear. Crap, I know I have some around here somewhere. Oh, something similar to like, oh crap. Okay, oh sorry, my shoulder bumped. Do you guys see that shark? Something like that would be awesome. Because I would want to represent like my fears. And sharks have always been like a fear of mine, and like Jaws, the movie, always scared the crap out of me as a kid. But we'll see. I have time to figure out exactly what I want. Okay, and now let's talk about, I guess I'll tell you the price. So my artist is actually cheap. I would say he's fairly cheap. This piece from like my elbow to my shoulder was around $1,000. And then he usually charges like $500 for 5 hours. And so it took us over 5 hours. I think it was like 8 hours total with the tip, and yeah, so it was like around $1,000, which I'm more than happy to pay. I've been saving my stimulus for this, okay? And then like the lion was $500, and then the roses, it's kind of hard to show, they were $500 as well. So the sleeve has been like $2,000 so far, which is crazy to think about, but it lasts a lifetime, and it's something really meaningful to me, and I love it. And that's cheap, which is the crazy thing. There was a guy here in Arizona who was on Ink Master, and I was like, okay, maybe I'll like email him, see what's up. He's pretty good, and he charged like $2,500 for one session. So that would have been like, for one session, that would have cost more than my entire sleeve I have now. And I think my artist is so talented. One thing he said that really made me happy was it was his favorite tattoo he's done in a long time, and he would 100% win an award with it. And I was like, it just made me feel so good, because he's been doing this for like 6 years, and he He does so many amazing tattoos. I just felt really honored to be tattooed by him. He also did, my other pieces on my forearm, but yeah, it just made me feel really good. And he has a bunch of like plaques and stuff, like he wins stuff pretty often, I think. And so to hear him say that was amazing. And yeah, he lives in Idaho, so I don't really like Idaho. We stayed in this kind of weird city called Pocatello, in like a weird Airbnb. Like our Airbnb was like this kind of creepy house, had like a creepy cellar, and like the whole house was like kind of slanted, so when you were like in the kitchen or living room, you felt like you were walking on like a slight slant. And yeah, so on like this trip, we had to fly to Utah, because there aren't any airports in Pocatello. So we flew to Utah, Salt Lake City, got a rental, and drove 2 hours to Pocatello. Oh my god, and I'm so sick of traveling. Oh. And then we came home last night, and it was just so tiring. But yeah, my tattoo artist, his name is Todd. Todd Toadman Shipley, that is like his Instagram handle. He's more active on Facebook and stuff though, but if anybody's interested, I will leave his information here. He's so talented, and he just recently started his own like tattoo shop basically. He's just there by himself. And I just love him. He's such a cool guy. We always have great conversations. When I'm getting tattooed, we're both like ex-Mormons, and we like bond over that, and we'll talk about like the church stuff, and he'll tell me crazy like tattoo stories, and that's just really fun. So yeah, would recommend him 100%. I plan on getting my full sleeve done by him. I don't know when I'll go back, maybe in like a year, I don't know. Maybe sooner, we'll see. But yeah, as far as pain, I know people always have questions about pain, and I think that this was actually my easiest tattoo. Like the outside of my arm, like her face and the rose and everything. That part really did not hurt hardly at all. And his gun's really quiet, or not his gun, his tattoo machine is really quiet. And it like vibrates a lot, so it almost feels like it's just vibrating your skin sometimes. The parts that hurt the most were by the elbow and like my inner arm, and up here hurt pretty bad. But for the most part, it was easy, I had 2 sessions. I had a 5-hour session one day, then a 3-hour the next day. And so it takes time, but it's worth it, I think, in the end. I think the lion was my most painful piece. My first piece, but it could have also just been because it was my first tattoo and I was so nervous, and it like scared me, So anyways, that is my tattoo, and my tattoo experience thus far, and the meaning. I'll do another one once I get more tattoos, and maybe once it's healed I can do like a tracing type video, because now it's still healing. It's only a few days old, and I can't really do anything. I can't go to the gym or go swimming or be in the sun very much, so it kind of sucks for a couple weeks, but I'm praying that it heals quickly, and I'm excited for it to, be the same color as the rest of my arm, because when you first get a tattoo, it's much darker, and once a layer of skin heals over it, it looks a little more like ashy, which I like the look of that. When it's too dark, I don't know. But yeah, anyways, that is it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I've just been so busy with getting tattoos and traveling and whatever, that I haven't been able to make videos, but I hope you guys enjoyed this one. give a shout out to my channel members and patrons. So thank you so much to Bad Rumen, Jumpscare, Micaiah Carter, Len Solo, Blaine B, Noah, Keys, Talon, Robbie Yelton, Alistair, Kevin Carpenter, Jesse Polk, Jeremiah Johnson, Landry Beck, Addison, and Black Vivi 89. You guys are legends. I love you so much. If you would like to become a patron on Patreon, the link is in the description. Have a good night, guys. I love you. Expect new videos this week. And I'll see you guys soon.